Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 972. We are in the middle of the final 50 trivia challenge, working our way down to episode number 1000. Today, part 29. The questions today were sent in by Sandy. We've got 21 questions, 20 up front, and a question 21 tiebreaker at the very end of the video if you need to stick around for that. Thank you, Sandy, for sending in these great questions. Thank you, everyone else, for watching. Have fun and good luck. Question number 1. Since the founding by Clara Barton on May 21st, 1881, the American Red Cross has been dedicated to serving people in need. In 1881, Red Cross began its first disaster relief effort aiding victims of forest fires. What was the second disaster that Red Cross responded to in 1889 that killed over 2,000 people? That natural disaster was floods in Pennsylvania. Question number 2. According to the 1972 song Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass, a New Jersey bar band, the braided chain bracelet she wore was made from the finest silver from where? Brandy wears a braided chain made from the finest silver in the north of Spain. Question number 3. In 1979, while trying to raise sales of their newspaper company, the San Francisco Examiner went one step further and offered a $10,000 prize to the first person to deliver a piece of what space debris to its office within 72 hours of its infamous crash? (1979) was when Skylab crashed. Question number 4. On August 19, 1909, the first race is held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, now the home of the world's most famous motor racing competition, the Indianapolis 500. What was the average speed of the cars within 10 miles per hour? Remember, this was racing in 1909. The average speed was 74.59, so anywhere between 64 and 84 is correct. Question number 5. What was the nickname of the Lockheed U-2 spy plane that had a single jet engine and was a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft operated by the United States Air Force that was previously flown by the Central Intelligence Agency? The name given to that plane was the Dragon Lady. Question number 6. What was the name of the first American stock exchange that was founded in 1790 that helped to spur development and westward expansion in the early years of the United States, as well as helping underwrite transportation infrastructure, utility systems, and real estate developments in growing cities? America's first stock exchange was the Philadelphia Stock Exchange. Question number 7. There were 14 missions total during the Apollo program. What was the number of the Apollo mission where Frank Borman, James Lovell, and William Anders became the first astronauts to see and photograph the dark side of the moon? That mission was Apollo 8. Question number 8. This famous figure and master of sarcasm was born William Claude Dukenfield on January 29, 1880 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He made the famous phrase, "I'd rather be dead than in Philadelphia." Who was this person better known as? William Clark Dukenfield is better known as W.C. Fields. Question number 9. The team actually finished the season with a winning record at 5-4-1. In what year did the Pittsburgh Steelers and Philadelphia Eagles merge to form the Steagles due to the loss of players because of World War II? The fact that it was during World War II should narrow it down a little bit. That year was 1943. Question number 10. Over at the Wall Street Journal, they took a stopwatch to 3 Major League Baseball games of varying overall length and found that the average 3-hour game, how much time of actual baseball action is in a game? Guess within 5 minutes more or less. In a 3-hour game, how much baseball is actually happening? They found it to be 18 minutes. Question number 11. Which U.S. president was a Republican lawyer from New England who climbed up the ladder of Massachusetts state politics, eventually becoming the 48th governor of Massachusetts, and was famous for keeping raccoons in the White House? He was famous for other things, but he's the only president we know of that kept a raccoon in the White House. His name was Calvin Coolidge. Question number 12. The dimples on golf balls are usually the same size as one another, but some golf balls have different sizes of dimple on the same ball. Any number between 300 and 500 dimples is reasonable, but what is the most common number of dimples within 10, more or less? I didn't know if I knew this. The average golf ball has 336 dimples. Question 13. If you check out the price, it will probably be cheaper to buy the 20 bottles as compared to buying the larger bottle. But if you want to be fancy, what name is given to the size of bottle that can hold 20 bottles of 750 milliliters of wine? They have specific names for these huge bottles of wine. The one that can hold 20 bottles is called a Nebuchadnezzar. Question number 14. Traveling Wilburys Volume 1 is the debut album of the famed supergroup. When the band reconvened to make a video for the record's second single, End of the Line, its remaining members decided to pay homage to which departed bandmate who died December 6, 1988. That bandmate was Roy Orbison. Question number 15. The Monkees were an American rock and pop band formed in Los Angeles in 1966, whose lineup consisted of the American actor and musician Mickey Dolenz, Michael Nesmith, and Peter Tork, alongside English actor and singer Davy Jones. Which member is the only one still alive? As of today, the only one still alive is Mickey Dolenz. Question 16. When it comes to Jim Morrison of the band The Doors and Van Morrison of the band Them and the singer of songs Brown Eyed Girl and Here Comes the Night, are they brothers, cousins, father and son, or no relation? They are no relation at all. Question 17. In March of 1963, Lee Harvey Oswald, using the alias A. Hiddle, purchased by mail order a long gun, a category of firearms with long barrels. In small arms, a long gun or a long arm is generally designed to be held by both hands and braced against the shoulder. What type of rifle did he buy? He bought and used a Carcano Model 38. Question number 18. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. That's the time it takes to produce more than 318 million tires each year. In 2012, who was recognized as the Guinness World Record holder for the largest tire manufacturer? If you're thinking car tires, you might be misdirected. It's actually Lego. Lego makes a lot of toy tires. Question number 19. Author of The Age of Innocence, Ethan Frome and the House of Mirth. She wrote over 40 books in 40 years. What was the name of the woman who broke through strict social stereotypes of her day to become one of America's greatest writers? The Age of Innocence was written by Edith Wharton. And question 20. Consistently in the top 10 biggest fast food chain lists by market capitalization and revenue, what is the name of the food corporation that operates popular restaurants like KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and Wing Street? All of those restaurants fall underneath the Yum brands. Yum is the answer. And that is it for today. Thank you, everybody, for watching today's episode. Thank you to Sandy for writing all the questions. We had a good mix of questions today. We've got even better ones coming tomorrow. Stick around for episode number 973. That'll be part 28 of the final 50. We're working our way down to episode number 1000. We've got a full list of trivia quizzes coming up before the end of the month. I've got all 50 that I need. Now I'm currently taking recommendations for things that we can do during the live episode. Everybody who submitted these quizzes submitted 25 question trivia quizzes. That way, if there were some duplicate questions or some questions that didn't quite work, I could use those, but I have a lot of leftover questions. So one of the things we're going to do during the live quiz is do trivia with all these extra questions that were sent in by viewers. I'm also going to do like a little AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything. You can ask any questions you have about me personally or about the channel. I'll probably do a quick little video tour of the new studio. There's not much to see. It's an empty room except for my desk. But just try to give more of a personal touch to the channel. It's been 1,000 episodes and only a few people know anything about me. If you're curious about how the channel's ran or anything like that, I'll be going over all of that during the live episode. And if you have any other suggestions for anything we should do during that episode, I'm taking suggestions and I'm starting to get the timeline together for the live episode. That will happen on September 28th. If you're free that night, you got some time to kill, join us. Should be a pretty good time. But for today's quiz, here is question 21, the tiebreaker for part 29 of the Final 50 Trivia Challenge. This is kind of a tough one. Property taxes remain a significant contributor to overall state income. Tax funds are used to operate and maintain essential government services like law enforcement, infrastructure, education, transportation, parks, and water and sewer service improvements. Which U.S. state has no property tax? This one's a little tough, because it sounds like there is a state with no property tax, but the answer is none. All states have property taxes. There is 0 states without it. A little bit of a trick question to end today's quiz on. Thank you, Sandy, for a good quiz. Thank you, everyone else, for watching. See you tomorrow.